Circuit after one judge put a roadblock on the Trump administration's efforts to downsize the federal workforce. U.S. District Judge William Alsup has ordered 6 agencies to immediately reinstate thousands of probationary employees who were fired. The judge calls the plans to shrink the federal workforce a, quote, sham.
The White House firing back, saying, quote, a single judge's attempt to unconstitutionally seize the power of hiring and firing from the executive branch. The president holds the authority to wield the executive branch's power. Individual district court judges cannot misuse judicial power to obstruct the president's agenda.
And joining us now, Federalist reporter Brianna Lyman. All right to the Administrative Procedures Act statutory authority that the executive has as long as they don't target politically. This judge is going to lose.
Oh, you hope so. And this is unfortunate. What we've seen recently is activists go around and they venue shop to find an activist judge. Like you mentioned, he uses the word...
Ninth Circuit.
Right.
San Francisco.
Right. Uses the word sham, right? It brings into question his bias. And unfortunately, Chief Justice John Roberts has essentially allowed, with that previous ruling, these lower inferior courts to kneecap Donald Trump and his executive authority. And so we need to have some kind of relief here. And I think that Donald Trump is making all the right moves by getting this done right away in his administration.
It's actually the president, real quick, that's following the law.
Yes.
He says they rule, I appeal, we go to the next one.
Yes. And the idea that for some reason a lower level judge who is not duly elected the same way the president does has more power than the president doesn't sit right with most Americans either. So not only will Donald Trump likely succeed in court, he'll succeed in the court of public opinion.
Well, I would hope that these decisions would go quickly, at least a few of them straight up to the highest court, to the Supreme Court, to put a stop to it, that it is in the power, particularly when it comes to probationary employees, but it's within the power of the executive branch and not the judiciary.
Right. And Alito and Thomas, recently in that previous dissent, they said that the idea that, again, an inferior court judge has all this power is ludicrous. Thomas made that point in 2018 in a case that Donald Trump was involved in. So this has been something that's been brewing in the Supreme Court, and I think they're going to be itching to get their hands on this on the merits.
Let's move on to this. New pick? Who this? The Dems are in the midst of a rebranding going full vintage.
And take a look at their new logo. Looks like the old logo.
What are you doing? Meet the boss, same as the old boss. You big donkey. The change-up coming as the party meets to discuss where it's headed. Take a listen.
I'll tell you is we recognize that last November, voters gave the House, the Senate, and the White House to the Republicans, and we've got to connect better. I think we've been talking about it since the election. We are focused like a laser on addressing that.
We know that we have to take a look at ourselves, and we're doing that, right? We saw what happened during the election.
The Democratic brand, as defined by Republicans, was the problem. We need to get out and define ourselves, and we're doing that.
All right, I'm not going to resist. Meet the new donkey, same as the old jackass. No new ideas, and it's a revolution to where?
You know, typically when companies rebrand, it's because they're out of ideas or their sales are down. So I think this new logo, or reusing the old logo, is indicative of that. And if they want to adopt the donkey again, they need to adopt the policies that donkey represented, right? The party of the Democrats, 2010 and earlier, was a party of strong immigration, or strong borders, no illegal immigration, protecting the American workers. And with the entire country shifting right, they'd be best to adopt this old logo and their old policies.
What did they stand for? They stood for gender transitions for children,
right,
or surgical mutilation of minors. They stood for biological men beating up girls in sports, and policies so far left they were unrecognizable except to the smallest slice of whacked out liberals.
Yeah, I think that big D logo they had stood for dumb and doubling down on dumb policies.
You know what? It shouldn't have been a big D. It should have been a little d. And I don't think that I can say what I think it stands for. But go on. Brianna.
Please.
No, I think you make a great point, though. You know, you have all these Democrats saying we're trying to redefine ourselves. They have no idea what policies are attractive to the American people because they're stuck in their echo chamber, right? Again, if they were to go back and revert to the policies of the donkey logo Democrats, they'd have a much better chance because they sound more like mainstream Republicans than Democrats of the 90s, right? So they have to go back and find a place where they're meeting Americans in the middle.
So bring back the old lies and see if we believe them again.
Exactly, but they're a little more palpable.
They were lies back then. Thank you, Brianna.
Thank you.
Great to see you. And still ahead, powering the great American comeback, the EPA, and I love this, announcing the rollback of a laundry list of regulations.
Not only can we protect the environment without suffocating the economy, we have to protect the environment without suffocating the economy.